Hi, Ms. Kennedy. This is my final presentation for the business applications class. Based on my observations through working with TriGreen this semester, the biggest strength of the company is definitely the people. The people are fantastic, hardworking, and really gave me a sense of what it truly is to be a professional. One of the weaknesses is the way John Deere actually goes through with trying to give people loans and let people make payments on things that really have no business making a payment on something. Like when someone buys a gator, there's if you don't have the money to just pay for a gator, you don't really need it. That's the one thing that kind of annoyed me with the way John Deere does some things. My biggest strength was just being an able body and being able to help. There is a lot of it's very hard for some companies to find decently competent people, and I felt like I really just got in there and did my best and helped the company. My biggest weakness was was getting acclimated to leaving my house at 6:30 in the morning. That I was never late, but I really struggled and fell asleep in the truck a couple times, which is not really, which is a little frowned upon. The biggest challenge I faced during this internship was figuring out some of uh, the numbering system on some of the implements. It's very confusing. There are lots and lots of different numbers for things that don't really make sense, like with bush hogs and loaders and things like that. Uh, the one thing that I wish I would have acquired beforehand was learning that numbering system and having a working knowledge of it, because it really took me a while to get locked in and figure out how to do it. It was pretty frustrating for me and the supervisor a little bit. He had to I'd caught For a few weeks I would constantly be asking him, "Oh, what is this? What's the number on this? Where am I looking for this?" and things like that. The biggest classroom knowledge part that I took from it was how to treat people. Miss York's business communications class was probably the most useful class I've ever taken. She did a very fantastic job with that class. The way you treat people is really important in business, because if you are a jerk to people, you're going to get jerk behavior back. And if you treat people the way you would want to be treated, if we're going with some if we're going with some Jesus-y stuff, that you will generally be treated well. And if people don't treat you well, just you just got to know that their day's coming. I will be using this experience entering the workforce. Just the biggest thing that I took from it was just working hard, figuring out and being able to problem solve, and figuring out what a full hard day of work is. The ideal characteristics of a person that would be going out for this job are to be hardworking. It'd be easier if you were a morning person. And one thing I would like to address that I put in my final paper was to be a Republican. That's kind of ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous, but and not even be a true blue Republican, but be right of center. Republican sounds a little harsh. You say you have to be affiliated with this political party, and that doesn't apply to all farmers. There are definitely farmers that are like old school Southern Democrats. Not when I said be a Republican, I mean be a little right of center, be more conservative. I have pretty much decided that I do not want to work in the uh, agriculture retail business and sales business. It is it's very hard to get established, and I believe I will be going in a different direction.